Heuristic play. Welcome. Heuristic play and learning through play. The aims and objectives. To look at materials suited to heuristic play and treasure baskets. To look at the theory behind heuristic play. Discuss the benefits of this play in line with the EYFS. Have a brief look at schemas and learning styles and planning for play opportunities. Play. Play is the primary way babies and young children develop and learn. Children need to learn through first-hand experiences. Babies and young children through play. Feel free to experiment, are in control of their own learning, and find ways of managing situations, both real and imaginary. Learning through play is fundamental to all areas of a child's development. What is heuristic play? Heuristic play is a very simple approach using natural and household objects. The resources are simply presented to babies and children so that they can experiment and discover independently, without active adult intervention. It allows babies and young children to make choices and develop preferences and experience play opportunities that are both spontaneous and focused. Heuristic comes from the Greek eurisko, meaning I find, I discover. Treasure baskets are one element of heuristic play. In heuristic play, materials are restricted. Objects are made from natural materials, household objects, and other everyday items. Collections are planned to provide for children's natural drives to explore, investigate, find out and discover, and also to work through their schemas and risk and challenge. Materials can be adapted to meet the needs of children of different ages, and activities are totally child-led. Adults rarely actively intervene, instead attentively observe to plan and extend. Let's have a look at some of the theory behind heuristic play. Jean Piaget. Children pass through stages of cognitive development. There's a sensory motor stage from 0 to 2 years, pre-operational from 2 to 7 years, concrete operational from 7 to 11 years, and formal operations from 12 plus. He looked at schemas and described the mental representation that develops as children have new experiences and put new ideas and abilities together. Lev Vygotsky. Learning happens by interacting with our environment. He developed the zone of proximal development, which was the gap between what he could achieve on our own and what we could achieve with the help of others. Learning takes place in the ZPD. Role of the adult and other children. Scaffolding children's learning, becoming attuned to what the child already knows in order to support and extend learning. Maria Montessori. She believed that children have natural drives to explore and learn. They need uninterrupted periods to follow their interests, and adults need to respond to those drives and provide opportunities for the child to extend their learning. He uses closed teaching tasks made from natural materials, and these are introduced as the child shows that they're ready, and depends on the adult's close involvement and sensitive observations. Rudolf Steiner. He believed that children learn from what happens around them, their environment and interaction. He placed a strong emphasis on the physical environment, creative and practical activity, and natural open-ended resources which were provided. Cooking, using food for maths, for example. And learning pace is set by the child rather than developmental stages. Eleanor Goldschmidt. She first used the term heuristic play, the primary focus of self-discovery and experimentation. Current research into the development of the brain confirms Eleanor's early observations. There should be no plastic whatsoever in heuristic play. and adults to sit on a comfortable chair, adult-sized, make observations, and adults not to take part other than to offer reassurance, smiles, and positive body language. In later heuristic play, adults can answer, supply information, and encouragement. Heuristic play, hooking into communication and language. Pre-language skills. Developing abstract conceptual thinking, to have the concept onto which language can later be hooked, and develop attention and concentration. Social skills development. Heuristic play is not a social activity, however social behaviours naturally develop in this play. And language skills, through language added and social interactions, for example in imaginative play. Treasure baskets. Non-mobile babies. Treasure baskets are one form of heuristic play. They can access these as soon as they can sit, even if this is aided sitting with support of cushions or the bumbo seat. Advantages of treasure baskets. Babies are offered choice, which items to pick, whether to pick them and when to pick them, from a large selection of items, which offers independence. Concentration skills are promoted, and it facilitates the learning of a wide range of concepts, and courage to reach out and try something new. Treasure baskets non-mobile babies. In babies of this age, learning tools rather than schemas can be observed, such as placing, banging, pairing and matching, sorting, piling and sequencing. Basket. This needs to be sturdy and made of wicker or other natural materials and have rigid sides and a flat bottom so it doesn't tip over easily. A goldsmith said it should be round, about 12 centimetres high and 30 centimetres in diameter. Place the basket at the side of the baby, not in front, to allow a baby to access it easily. Eleanor Goldsmith says that adults should sit next to the baby, but not in his or her line of vision. She recommends that a baby is not held on the adult's knee. The baby should absolutely lead the play. Crawlers, shufflers, rollers and toddlers, from 9 to 22 months approximately. Babies need more space to play and need materials that would challenge and extend learning and development. They still learn by exploring using their senses. This next stage of play is more active than treasure basket play, and treasure baskets with a few containers and extra items can still be offered. Their experiments stimulate their thinking. Move or transport objects in a variety of ways. Put objects inside other containers and take them out. Roll objects across the floor or other different surfaces. Band objects together. Make piles of objects and then knock them down. Make collections, turn and twist objects, and wrap objects up in material. Setting up heuristic play. Choose materials that allow for exploring with the main schematic behaviour patterns. Select items that will develop concept knowledge. Collections of different types of objects are dependent on how many children are in the group. 15 to 20 of each object should suffice. Allow about an hour initially, including 15 minutes to tidy up. Consider storage. Drawstring bags or stacking boxes are best. You may need to make some compromises to fit with the circumstances of your setting. Heuristic play for young children. Children will now start seeking out others to play with and share their discoveries. These shared experiences help to develop language and imagination. The social aspect of heuristic play develops cooperation, sharing and negotiation. Loose parts play. Collections and baskets based on themes. So materials and textures, similar objects, seasons or festivals, nursery trips, phonic sounds, schemas, colours or favourite books and songs. The adult's role in heuristic play: finding an appropriate time and place and protecting it, setting up the play materials, observing, making notes, identifying schemas, levels of play and communication in each child, taking photos to include in displays and individual learning journals, planning to extend in response to the individual play and exploring needs you've observed, reorganising materials when required, and encouraging the child to help at tidy up time. Be prepared to offer support if requested. Children learn through learning styles, schemas, activities and experiences, from interaction with caring adults, through curiosity, with parents' help and observing others. Learning styles. Learning styles. Children have different styles of learning. By recognising their learning styles, we can help them to develop and learn. There are 4 types of learning styles: visual, kinesthetic, auditory, and logical. Visual learners. They learn through images and can remember the pictures on a page. They enjoy art and drawing. They read maps, charts, and diagrams well. They're interested in machines and inventions, play with Lego and other construction toys, and like jigsaw puzzles. They can be a daydreamer in class. Kinesthetic learners. They process knowledge through physical sensations. Highly active and not able to sit still long. They communicate using body language and gestures, show you rather than tell you, and want to touch and feel the world around them. They may be good at mimicking others and enjoy sports or other activities where they can keep moving. Auditory learners. They spell words accurately and easily, as they can hear the different sounds, so tend to learn phonetically rather than through look and say techniques. They can be a good reader, though some prefer the spoken word. They have excellent memory for names, dates and trivia. They like word games and enjoy using tape recorders or CD players, and often musically talented, usually able to learn their times table with relative ease. And logical learners. They think conceptually, like to explore patterns and relationships, enjoy puzzles and seeing how things work, and consistently question and wonder. They like routines and consistency, and are capable of highly abstract forms of logical thinking at an early age. They do mental arithmetics easily, and enjoy games, computers and experiments with a purpose. They create their own designs to build with blocks and Lego, and not so good on the more creative side of activities. Schemas. Here are a list of schemas. This means that they are interests that the children portray through their play. Trajectory, rotation, envelopment, enclosure, transporting, containment, orientation, positioning, connection, and transforming. Key areas of development: personal, social and emotional development, physical development, communication and language, literacy, maths, understanding the world, and expressive art and design. Extending and challenging. How can these activities be extended? And how can you make them more challenging? Through continuous play provision, so through paint, Play-Doh, sand, water, construction, the home corner, creativity and small world play. Ofsted. Assessment plays an important part in helping parents, carers and practitioners to recognise children's progress, understand their needs and plan activities to support. Ongoing assessment is an integral part of the learning and development process. It involves practitioners observing children to understand their level of achievement, their interests and learning styles, and to then shape learning experiences for each child reflecting those observations. In their interactions with children, practitioners should respond to their own day-to-day observations about children's progress and observations that parents and carers share. Observations. How do you observe children in your setting? What are you looking for? And how does this inform practice? Levels of achievement. Child development. It's vital to know the ages and stages of child development so that you can tell that they are progressing well. What is an achievement? And when do you record it? Learning journals. How do you do yours? How much is too much? And are you doing the right thing? Thank you for listening. Here are my contact details. Please subscribe to the channel. Thank you.